everybody, welcome to Review a Day, episode number 115 for Sunday, January the 11th, 2009. Hello everybody, welcome to Review a Day, the video blog where I review movies. My name is Leland Brungart and thank you very much for joining me. I've been having a shit of a time trying to get together my top 10 of 2009. There's a couple films I still haven't seen that I really want to see. I didn't get a chance to see Synecdoche, New York, which I'm so sad I still haven't gotten a chance to see. The Reader, I'm not super sad about not being able to see that film yet, and I believe those are the two big ones that I haven't seen. But one of the films that I was really putting off, I've been putting off doing my top 10, putting it together, finalizing it, because one of the films I really wanted to see is a new Swedish film called Let the Right One In. And this movie is directed by Thomas Alfredson. It is a Swedish foreign film, obviously, foreign to me anyways. And this is a coming-of-age story about this young boy who is kind of an outsider. He's bullied, and he meets this peculiar outsider girl who lives in the same apartment complex as he is. However, it turns out that this girl also happens to be a vampire. So, you know, everyone is in vampire frenzy right now with Twilight and True Blood and all of this stuff. And I really wanted to see this one because I heard some really great buzz about it. And Let the Right One In is fantastic. This movie, it's the kinds of films that I absolutely adore. I'm a horror fan, and while I wouldn't say that this film is a horror, this movie is definitely not a horror movie, but it definitely has a lot of horror elements to it, and I completely ate up every single time those were put in, that these kind of creepier vampire mythology elements were mixed into the story. The two kids in the movie are fantastic together. They have a really sweet romance that kind of forms throughout the film that I absolutely adored. The film looks absolutely beautiful. It's in Sweden, and it's in the wintertime anyways, and the film feels incredibly cold. It's all in the snow. The little girl walks around without shoes a lot of the time because she's a vampire. It doesn't matter. But the filmmaking in this film is pretty top-notch. I was really taken back because I can almost guarantee that this film had nowhere near as big a budget as Twilight did, and the special effects in this film are so much more superior to anything I saw in Twilight. And it's not that the technicality or the digital effects were better in this film, but the director did some really smart things with it. The girl in this film does climb up trees, and she also climbs up the side of a building at one point. But it is not hokey at all. The way she films it, she films one of them from the director films it from afar at one point, and it looked really creepy, and I really dug that about this. I will also say that the climax of this film, which is about the boy and these bullies, I was squealing with glee at how fucking awesome the ending to this movie is. It's not really gory, but it's some of the best gore I've seen, some of the most clever things I've ever seen. I fucking ate up the ending to this movie, and I couldn't get enough of it. Watching this movie, however, did make me really mad. It made me mad because people, I still can't believe that people are trying to tell me that Twilight isn't a terrible movie. Twilight is a terrible movie, and it was made all the more apparent after I watched this film. I remember when I did my review of Twilight, I compared it to Buffy, and I said, you know, I've seen all of this done before. But I saw it on Buffy, and it was done much better. And, you know, people were like, oh, well, Buffy was a TV series, and they had all this time to explore these things. But Let the Right One In is, I watched this, and Buffy didn't even enter my mind, because it was something so wholly unique and different. And the romance between the two kids was worked off. It's pulled off really well. You know, Bella and Edward are just fucking boring. And I was talking to someone, a buddy of mine loves Twilight. He thinks it's a great movie, and I was like, their romance is boring. She was boring. I didn't like her. And he's like, well, that's how it is in the book. And that is the biggest Twilight apologist thing I've ever heard someone say, because it was bad. Twilight's bad, and Let the Right One In is probably one of my favorite films of the year. I love this gothic dark story. I love when he invites her into his house and he doesn't invite her in and she comes in anyways and she's covered in blood. I loved it. I loved all the imagery. I loved this movie. I give Let the Right One In a 5 out of 5. It's the type of film I eat up. It's quiet. I like the fact that people do things in this movie and you don't necessarily understand why they do it, but that's how life is, and I love that about this film. It's beautiful. Let the Right One In, a 5 out of 5. I highly recommend people seeking out this film and getting a chance to see it because I think it's wonderful. Make sure and tune in tomorrow for my number 10 through 6. Also head over to nitpickit.com for all of my movie reviews and ramblings about comic books and TV and movies. So check that out. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.